Broadcasting down in the bayou, it's MarkOutMania, a podcast featuring two average Joe wrestling fans talking about the business they love and so much more. And now, here's Ryan Keith and Patrick Fry.
And welcome to episode 10 of Mark Out Mania. Big show over the weekend. We're going to recap it. Patrick, how's it going, man?
It's going good. You know, it was a big show over in Tokyo. Another big show the night after that. Things are heating up in WWE. The Royal Rumble's coming up. The rundown for today, Mark Out Mania episode 10, January 7th, 2018. We're going to talk Wrestle Kingdom. We're also going to talk New Year Dash. And we're also going to look ahead to New Beginning because it looks like some feuds are being set up for that as well. We're also going to talk the Mixed Tag Challenge. And they did announce some of the teams, not all of the teams. We'll talk about the teams they have announced and kind of talk about who's left and see maybe we could figure out who's going to be on teams, and still don't know the format of it yet, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to review Raw. We're going to review SmackDown. Royal Rumble participants on both the men's and women's sides they're starting to declare for the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Also, we have Cheap Heat. You got something, Ryan, for Cheap Heat.
Heck yeah.
And then we're going to talk Rumor Mill. I got something on the Rumor Mill, so a lot to talk about, so let's get it rocking and rolling.
Right. First of all, I want to give a shout-out to our Patreon supporters, Crew Smith, and our brand new supporter, Zach Miller. Guys, thank you so much. Know that your money is not going to waste. It will not be spent frivolously. It will be put back into the show, whether that be new equipment, sponsored ads on social media to make this better. Thank you guys so much. And speaking of social media, you can find us at MarkOutMania.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We are on the internet. And you can find us at our central hub, MarkOutMania.com. Also there, brand new, we have new Mark Out Nation t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, long sleeve shirts. If you want to grab yours today, it's on a limited 20-day run, probably 18 days left right now in that run. So go to MarkOutMania.com or check us out on Facebook for that link.
It's like being in the C Nation, only better.
Exactly.
So, we have Brink back in the studio today, as I know him and Cruz, who's listening live right now. They stayed up, watched Wrestle Kingdom live. I tried to, but my body just would not my body's telling me no. It was telling me no. I could not stay up, so what I did was, of course, I woke up that morning. They had videos. We were putting them on our Facebook. They were all over YouTube. Even though they didn't last very long, I was able to watch a lot of the matches. Still haven't watched it all in its entirety, but I did record the Axis special last night with Jim Ross commentary. And, of course, Jim Ross is my favorite all-time announcer, so I will at some point get to that. Maybe I can give my thoughts further on Wrestle Kingdom. But going down the results here, I'm going to go down the results real quick, and then we're just going to generally talk about what happened at Wrestle Kingdom and then slowly transition into what happened the day after. The Rumble, not a Royal Rumble, just the Rumble. All right, Brinkman, let's see how if I can not butcher this one. It is Masahito.
It's okay if you butcher it, because I butchered it too, because that's a guy I hadn't heard of before.
Masahito Kakihara.
That's
close
how
enough.
it is.
And he wins the Rumble by pinfall. So it's not your Royal Rumble. He won by pinfall. Into the main card now, the Young Bucks.
Before we go there, I want to mention something about that Rumble. Kikihara, I looked him up. He is he's a retired professional wrestler. He wrestled in UWF in Japan and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And it was the real good feel-good moment of the show, because he won his battle with cancer. And they had him come in last. He ends up winning it. He gave a good little speech afterwards about fighting cancer and not giving up against that fight. So it was a real good, feel-good moment. Real good.
Well, that's a awesome moment there for him winning the Rumble. Into the main card now, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, defeated Sho and Yo for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Beretta and Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano won the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title match. Ibushi defeated Cody in that singles match. Evil and Sonata won the IWGP World Tag Team titles. Goto defeated Suzuki in the hair versus hair match. I did see him pull off the towel the night after, and I guess he looks better. I don't know, but
It doesn't look worse.
You're right. He couldn't look much worse. Will Ospreay defeated Takahashi Kushida and Marty Scurll for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Tanahashi defeats Jay White for the Intercontinental Championship. Omega defeats Jericho for the United States Heavyweight Championship. And Okada defeated Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So that is the results of the show. And I put a poll on Twitter because there was some debate as to which match was better out of Naito and Okada or Jericho and Omega. And I only got 4 votes, but it was 3-1 in favor of Jericho versus Omega. Now, I did watch that. Well, that was one of the matches I watched in its entirety. And I tell you what, from start to finish, because even before the match, you know, they were like, they had to be separated. The Young Bucks were there, which I don't know why they were there. There was honestly no reason for them to be there. But and also, when the match started, you know, Kenny Omega was going in to embrace the Young Bucks, you know, good luck, whatever. And Jericho attacks him midway through the embrace. So that was and heel Jericho, man. That's the thing about heel Jericho in New Japan. There's no limits. He's flipping off every body in their mama in the Tokyo Dome, and I mean, saying things, you know, calling Omega, you know what, and I don't want to say it because we're trying to make it a family friendly show, but it was you could just sense that. Even though there was only really 3 interactions prior to that match, man, it was just, you could just feel it.
Well, you knew it was going to be an epic encounter when 4 minutes into the match, Omega goes through a table.
Yeah.
And that was just insane. A springboard from the ring, trying to jump on Omega, lands on the table, takes out Don Callis on commentary, which Cruz marked for. That was funny. Yeah. Cruz is not a Don Callis fan, but yeah, 4 minutes into a match and you already got somebody going through a table, you know it's going to be insane, and it was.
And then Omega, you said, you know, in New Japan, they even though they're not a PG promotion like WWE is, they don't tend to bleed a lot. And Omega bled in this match, and that right there adds, you know, some significancy. It does. I guess is a word you can use to put
just like match. When he bled when Jericho attacked him, it just made it that more real, that more personal. So it's the fact that it's not something that New Japan does a lot of is what made it also more shocking.
Did you watch it, Ron? You were able to watch the Omega versus Jericho match?
Yeah, one observation. If Jericho's pecs spread any more, his chest is just going to open right up.
I think it's been like that for probably a handful of years. I'd say at least the past 5-6 years. Yeah. I've noticed that gap in his chest, but I guess, you know, when you get older, your body evolves, I guess, in ways, and that's the way Jericho's body evolved. But the good thing is he's 47 years old, and I mean, he's fighting 35-minute matches with Kenny Omega.
You can thank DDP Yoga for that. Jericho's a firm believer in it.
So. Well, it works, and I've seen examples of DDP Yoga work on. You know, I watched a video on YouTube about this guy who could barely walk. I think he was a veteran. He started using DDP Yoga, and all of a sudden,
Jake Roberts.
Oh yeah,
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, Scott Hall could barely walk.
Scott Hall as well. Yeah.
So DDP Yoga
saved both their lives.
Well, hopefully, a lot more wrestlers like Chris Jericho, these guys that are getting older, can start using.
AJ does it.
AJ
does it. A lot of guys on the roster.
That's good.
The WWE roster. Use
I remember DDP being on Shark Tank years ago with it, and he couldn't get a deal. But I was like, dude, you don't need those sharks, man. He was doing a damn good job.
That also might have been just a way to get his product out there too.
Exactly. Yeah,
that is, and that's what a lot of people do. They just go on that show just to get the exposure because they know a lot of people watch that show. So.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Jericho had a great tweet. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was like a meme, and it said, "The scarf of Jericho, $750. The jacket of Jericho, $15,000. Making your entrance in front of 40,000 people with your band song being played, priceless." And then he has, at the bottom, he says, "Not going to lie, walking out to the ring with @FozzyRock, #Judas, shaking the Tokyo Dome above me, it was a pretty amazing experience."
Yeah, that was really cool. I did watch his entrance because when I watched the match video, there was no entrances, but I was able to go back and watch the entrance. So it was really cool. And then Omega had a cool entrance attire too.
Yeah,
I mean he was all decked out. I can't remember exactly what it is or what it's from, but it was really cool looking. He had that big gun. He had that thing on his head. And you know what that was from?
I want to say it was a video game reference because Omega's a big nerd.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. And I tell you what,
there's nothing wrong with it either. I am too.
Yeah, I'm about to say I am too. So
just like I posted on Facebook. Meltzer should give the match at least 5 stars just because of Omega's hair.
I was about to say,
Man, I was not a fan of the hair either. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about it either, because the way he's been having his hair before that, I mean, dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. You got some tremendous hair. You might have the best hair in all of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but, you were saying something about Dave Meltzer. He didn't give these matches
I haven't seen any ratings
yet.
I haven't seen any. I've been avoiding it because I wanted to do my ratings and stuff without any kind of outside.
Okay. Well, that's good because I wouldn't even know how to rate some of these matches other than it either sucked or it was awesome. Yeah, they were awesome. So they were all awesome to me. So, but I've just got on the New Japan train probably in the past half year when I went and watched the G1 Los Angeles special, or since actually about a year now because when Okada and Omega had that 5-star match back at last Wrestle Kingdom. That kind of opened my eyes as to how good New Japan was. So ever since then, I've been slowly and surely learning more and more about New Japan, and I guarantee you I know a lot more about New Japan right now than I did 365 days ago. And they put on spectacular matches. I mean, there's nothing you could say about it, and I think it was Dave Meltzer said, because now, with the emergence of New Japan, and people are starting to, I don't know, I think people on Reddit are going back and forth. Well, if you just watch WWE, you should watch New Japan. Or if you just watch New Japan, you should watch kind of making it seem like there should be some sort of, I would say a hatred, but, there's like some indifferences. And Dave had the perfect quote saying WWE is a good business, is a way better business. New Japan is way better at in-ring performers. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why one's better than the other in two different things. So each have their own strength, each have their own weaknesses, and that's what makes each of them unique. You can watch, like the last weekend of January. There's gonna be New Beginning all weekend, two-day event, and then there's gonna be the Royal Rumble that Sunday. I mean, hey, why not spend the whole weekend watching the two New Beginning shows and then watching the Royal Rumble? It's a great weekend it's probably one of the best weekends. And then also NXT TakeOver too.
Yep,
they're going to have one of the great weekends of wrestling, which involves both WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I really like that quote that Dave had said.
And I honestly think there's a lot of people on Twitter that are the casual, the hardcore WWE fans that are starting a lot of this because they don't want to watch anything else but WWE. Like you gotta have as a wrestling fan, a true wrestling fan, you have to have an extremely open mind on wrestling product. New Japan has a different wrestling style. America has a different wrestling style. Mexico, different wrestling style. Mm-hmm. UK has an extremely different style than what everybody here is used to. But it's still wrestling. Whether you like the nonstop flipping and spots of the juniors, or if you like the storytelling that WWE or New Japan is doing, it's still all wrestling. Yeah, you got to have an open mind. And I like WWE. I like New Japan. I don't want to make it a war, but there's a lot of people that it's either one or the other.
Now, see, I'm glad that New Japan, and I was one of those hardcore WWE fans that watched nothing but WWE until you introduced me to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And at first, I was like, this is a lot different. It's going to take some time for me to get used to this, and I'm still getting used to it in a way.
I am too.
But I'm still getting used to how to say some of these names, obviously. But I'm liking the direction it's going. It's pulling guys in like a Chris Jericho, and Kenny Omega was already a big name because there was a lot of talks of him a year ago going to WWE after that 5-star match he had with Okada. So he's now kind of, in my opinion, he is the face, at least the international face. Okada's probably the Japanese face of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but Omega, now is sort of getting the international, and now obviously with the feud with Jericho, pulling a lot more in. Now, to me, with New Japan's new rising, might be the biggest threat to WWE since WCW, because let's face it, TNA was a slight threat at one time, not a huge threat. I think New Japan has the potential to be a much bigger threat to WWE than TNA ever was. So, and from that standpoint, I think my mind, when WWE has this competition, they start to raise their level of performance, and that's what I'm hoping can come out of this new emergence of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because, I mean, hell, they got Jericho. It looks like he's sticking around for at least another match with Naito, and we'll jump into that in a few minutes. But that's just what I've been thinking about, the whole emergence of New Japan and how I think this can push WWE to improve their in-ring performance. Because, let's face it, New Japan, they do good storytelling, but they do it in the match. They do it in the match. WWE has good storytelling at times, but they do it with promos and video packages and sometimes in the ring too, but not as much as New Japan does. So
that's where the different styles come in.
Exactly.
Right, and then you got Kenny Omega calling out one of the old faces of New Japan, Shinsuke Nakamura, saying that his run in WWE is boring.
I agree.
What do you think about
that?
that?
Wrong.
I agree.
Not wrong.
I'm not saying it's. I mean, I guess it's boring in a way. They're not booking him like they should, but right now, I think they're just kind of keeping him in the wings because we know, at least I hope we know, that we're going to get Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and that right there, because AJ had the best match with Shane McMahon last year at WrestleMania. Yeah. This year, if Nakamura and AJ get into that ring at WrestleMania and they just say, go out there and do what y'all do, which is what they should do, holy cow. Mm-hmm. That, first of all, that match should be for a championship, and that match should be the last match of the show.
But you got to remember who owns WWE.
I know.
Nakamura on the main roster has not been great. He's been borderline boring, like Omega said. Nakamura in NXT, it was fantastic.
And that's how a lot of wrestlers, at least the ones that come up to the main roster, it's like Bayley. Bayley was amazing in NXT.
Bayley was the biggest face in NXT when she was down there.
And Neville in NXT, amazing. Now, granted, he was amazing.
Neville on 205 Live was pretty amazing.
But they ended up giving the title to Enzo Amore, and Neville's like, well, screw this. If y'all going to give this title to this guy who I can run circles around, then I'm out of here. So, it's like, I don't know, there's something that happens when they get to the main roster. It's like, do what you were doing in NXT, and that's why a lot of people, and I think I said this on the podcast last week or the last couple of weeks, why people are actually looking forward to the day that Triple H may be running this company, because he's full control over NXT right now. The booking has been absolutely superb, and when all these NXT people that get to the main roster, sure, some here and there, like Seth Rollins, like the Shield and everything, they worked out. But like a Bayley, like a Neville, who else went to the main roster? Granted, Bobby Roode and Nakamura's only been there not even a year, but they made them both look like crap at Survivor Series, and I didn't like that.
You know who was a former NXT champion? Bo Dallas.
Yeah, Bo Dallas. He's
Dallas.
Yeah, a part of
Big E when he still had a last name.
Now, Big E worked out. I think Big E worked out pretty well. Now, the New Day thing worked out. But as a singles competitor, I think it could have worked out. And if I were to guess, and I think I said this a while back too, if any of the three members of the New Day were to ever win a world title first, it'd have to be Big E.
And if we're talking about NXT guys who are over in NXT that have completely bombed or failed on the main roster, we can't leave out Ascension.
Yeah,
Ascension was the longest reigning NXT tag champs for, I think they were almost a year and a half.
American Alpha did not work out whatsoever once they got to the main roster. They were great.
Tyler Breeze didn't work out that great at first, but now he's found his little niche in that little comedic role with Fandango. So
was Rusev in NXT?
Yes, he was.
So Rusev was in NXT, and he's been back and forth. When he first came to the main roster, he was this unbeatable thing before he faced John Cena at WrestleMania 31. Fell off, and now he's the most over thing because of Rusev Day. Like, of all things.
Well, it's a year-long holiday.
I know, man. Today is Rusev Day, by the way, and we are celebrating by bringing you a podcast. So, but we got way off track here. We started talking about NXT guys. We were talking a Wrestle Kingdom. I'm not even sure exactly. We were talking about the Omega Jericho match, I think.
You said you had the poll on what match was better.
Oh, yeah, 75%. 75% said, out of 4 votes, said Omega versus Jericho, 25%, which was me. I said Naito versus Okada. As far as the wrestling match goes, I think it was better. A little bit better, not much better.
Well, they didn't have as many limitations as Okada and Naito because they had the no DQ stip. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I would say, because my personal ratings, I gave both those matches 5 stars. They were both fantastic matches.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm giving Okada and Naito a slight edge over Omega and Jericho is because I didn't know the outcome.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Omega was beating Jericho. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Naito and Okada, nobody. It was anybody's guess. I'll pick Naito. I was pulling for Naito. Naito and Okada are my 2 favorite guys, and I found myself pulling for Naito. And I found myself a little upset because I wanted Naito to win, but at the same time, Okada's so damn good. I don't know who is going. The only person I can think of that would beat Okada now would be Omega.
Yeah, there's
who's left for Okada? He's beaten everybody.
Unless somebody tweeted this. They already were talking about the Wrestle Kingdom 13 main event. This is what if all goes according to the way, if this falls into place, they were saying Okada versus Daniel Bryan for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 13, because I'm going to dive into this into rumor mill, but basically we still don't know if this time next year Bryan could be in New Japan Pro Wrestling for all we know.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. What else were we talking about? Okay, so we talked about Jericho, Omega. That was a great match. Naito and Okada was a great match.
Okada broke out some new ring attire. He wore long pants. He's been usually wearing the little trunks, but he wore long pants. I thought it looked really good. There's a lot of people on Twitter did not like it.
Really?
I thought it looked great. I thought it was a good fit for him.
He can wear whatever he wants. He's as good as he is in the ring. I don't care what you wear.
He's pushing 570 days as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
That is the longest reign of all time, I think. Now
a singular reign, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think combined. I think he's pushing combined.
I think he's a little over 1,000 now.
But I don't think he's at the record yet. I think Tanahashi still holds that.
Because this is
maybe Inoki.
This is his 4th reign currently right now.
Yes.
So. But yeah, Okada's doing some great things.
Speaking of bottoms, what about Jericho coming out in the bikini bottom?
That said alpha on his butt.
Come on.
The alpha butt. You know how Jericho is. He got the scarves. He got the light-up jackets.
I was going to say, I'm just happy
Jericho
got the scarf.
is Mr. Fashion when it comes to his ring attire and entrance attire and all that. So, all right. So they had some other good matches. Obviously, Ibushi and Cody had that spot where he did the crossroads off the apron.
That was sick.
I was telling Ryan before we started recording, when that spot happened, hit the crossroads onto the floor, I yelled, "He's dead!
He's dead!
Ibushi's dead!"
Creve, as we say here in
that
South
was so
Louisiana.
Nasty.
Let's see.
Right. Before we move off of that match, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention this. So Brandy Rhodes tweeted, "First black female to appear on Wrestle Kingdom."
Yeah,
that's awesome. I didn't even think about that when she came out. That's a good accomplishment for her.
And I would not be mad if she was the second woman to appear next year at Wrestle Kingdom 13. Yeah, she looked damn good doing it. I honestly, I was probably anytime they showed Brandy Rhodes, what match is going on? I don't know. I mean, I was looking at Brandy Rhodes when you come out wearing that. I mean, come on now, let's.
I mean, it looks better on her than when MVP wore. 'Cause that looks like the same style MVP wore. Yeah, it looks a lot better on her.
Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, she looked. I mean, wonderful. I can't even explain to you how great she looked.
That was I knew that match was going to be really good going into it, and that one exceeded my expectations as well. I gave that one 4.5 stars.
There you go.
Very, very good. That was Cody's.
What's all the? You rated every match?
I did.
Go ahead, and just kind of roll through your ratings and tell us why.
Before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Cody because that was probably his best New Japan match to date. So
it's a good stage to do it on.
A really good stage. Naito and Okada I gave 5 stars. Omega Jericho 5 stars. Cody and Ibushi gave 4.5 stars. Jay White and Tanahashi I gave 4 stars. That was a really, really good match. Surprised Tanahashi won, but like I said, I want to have an open mind to see where they go with it now with Jay White, and after watching New Year's Dash, which we'll get to in a little bit, and kind of see where they're going with it now. So,
all right. So, what are your other ratings for some of these matches they had?
My show stealer match, which was probably one of my favorite matches on the entire card, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight 4-way match with Ospreay, Skrull, Takahashi, and Kushida. Now, Skrull's entrance.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Apparently, he put a lot of work into
He made
his
those
costume.
wings. Yeah. He made those wings.
He put a lot of work because Cody tweeted something out about the word, how he worked really hard to get those wings to Japan. So, really cool there. And I mean, look,
it was probably entrance of the night for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially the attire. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, and then that bird mask that the doctors used to wear during the plague back in Rome. That was so cool.
He always has that, but he had a special one, a different one for this one that matched his wings. And like I said, it just looked fantastic.
Some more ratings you got?
I gave that match 4 3/4 stars.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really good match, huh?
It blew my mind.
Just like a lot of things do in New Japan.
It blew a lot of people's minds. Ospreay won it, and the big part of that was Ospreay pinned Skrull, which is the first time ever that's happened in any promotion. Ospreay finally got a pin on Skrull, so good for Ospreay. Roppongi 3K versus the Bucks, I gave 4 1/4 stars. And what I liked most about this match, the Young Bucks proved that not only can they do all the entertaining stuff, all the spots, and make the people go crazy with some of the insane things they do, but they can settle down and work. Because they took Yo's back and they worked his back the entire match, and they got the victory from a submission from a sharpshooter on Yo, which was putting pressure on his back.
Yep.
That just proves once again that the Bucks are one of the top, if not the top, best tag team in the entire world.
Agreed.
Yep. Any more ratings you have? Or that's all of them?
Goto and Suzuki, I gave 4 stars. That was an amazing physical match. Suzuki, he laid into Goto pretty hard this match. A lot of open palm strikes to the chest, to the face, the neck. It was very physical. KES losing to Evil and Sonata. They taking the titles. I gave 3 3/4. It was a decent match. I thought it was only going to last about 10 seconds because KES jumped LIJ right at the start, threw Sonata at the ring, hit their finish on Evil, and Evil barely kicked out. So I thought I was about to be like the Daniel Bryan Sheamus from WrestleMania 8-second match or whatever it was. Came close to that, so it was still a good match. The entire card was well worth the 6 hours I was awake to watch it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all knew going into it that Wrestle Kingdom was going to be a really good show, and it did not disappoint. Is that all your ratings? Any more? That's all the ratings. You got something, Ryan?
Yeah, before we get off of Wrestle Kingdom 12, I want to go over the Facebook poll. We put who will win the main event at NJPW Wrestling Kingdom 12. Guess who had 49%?
The main event?
Yes.
49%.
Holy crap.
I would have said 49% probably goes to Okada.
Yeah, I'd probably have to say the same. I know I picked Naito, but
no, Naito 49%, Okada 51%.
I did pick Okada, so I did choose Okada.
That is dead down the middle too.
Yep,
it was close, and we got to give some shout outs to some people who had some comments on the poll, which they're not going to be shout outs. They're going to be me running a promo on them. So here we go. So Jay Smith has a SpongeBob that says no one cares. Well, obviously a bunch of people cared because they made record numbers. And what's the streaming service called?
New Japan World.
Yeah, subscribers went out the roof. So shut your face. And then Derek Dietrich said, it's 2018 and people still watch wrestling. A whole bunch of crying, laughing emoji faces. And what strikes me about you, Derek Dietrich, is when I went and looked at your profile. So you have a pick with Corey Taylor from Stone Sour on your main pick, and then you have a whole bunch of them. So you're marking out for Stone Sour. How about you take all the pirated songs that you downloaded, you put them on a CD, you're not even supporting this band because you're a douche, and you take it down to your room in the basement of your mother's house because you work a part-time job at a grocery store, turn it up to 10, and suck it.
It's guys like that they need to get laid, I guess. All right, hopefully we did test your mic. Hopefully we didn't get disconnected there.
Jeez.
Check mic. Check your mic, because I heard a.
I think I'm good.
All right, I think we're still good here. So
That's probably me throwing down my phone.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you threw down your phone, I heard it's like a noise, but a noise, then it went away really quick. So I thought maybe something got disconnected. So,
boy, I hope he hears that too.
I doubt it, because 2018. Who watches wrestling?
Who listens to wrestling podcasts?
Who listens to wrestling podcasts anymore? So, but anyways. So
if you know Derek Dietrich, you tell him to tune in.
Yeah, tell him to tune in, because Ryan has got a message for him,
tell him to like, subscribe, download.
I say subscribe, like, download.
Buy a T-shirt.
I second everything Ryan just said, because holy crap, that was hilarious. But yeah, guys like that, I think he needs to get laid. So with that being said, let's jump into the next night, New Year Dash. Yes. A lot of things happened there. Really, the big thing that happened, everybody was talking about, was, let me turn my mic up here a little bit more. There we go. All right, I think I got some volume here. What everyone was talking about was Jericho attacking Naito, which really was a surprise, because a lot of people thought it was the Omega match was a one-off thing for Jericho. Now, looks like maybe a new beginning. We're going to see Jericho versus Naito. Also, Omega offered Jay White a spot in the Bullet Club. Jay White looked like he was going to join at first, and then turned on and did his the Blade Runner to Omega. Somebody commented on Twitter. It was like, I don't know, because apparently it's supposed to, like, I guess it affects your face when you land. And he said something about it's like, how can I make this sell my neck or something? Or like Jay White's, how are you gonna make it sell your neck? And Omega's like, don't worry, I got this. The way he sold it, Omega, I got this, don't worry. So that happened there. So now things are starting to look forward to New Beginning, which is a 2-day event in Sapporo on the 27th. The 27th and 28th, then they have another one in Osaka on February the 10th, which is Mardi Gras weekend here in South Louisiana, so I'll probably miss that. But it's going to be, looks like Jericho versus Naito, Omega versus Jay White. Also looks like it could be, I think they're talking about Okada and Sonata taking on each other for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, which Sonata, of course, one half of the tag team champs now. So
there's a lot going on. Going back to the Jay White Omega thing, that whole thing set up 3 different angles for Omega. A reunion with Ibushi, the possible match against Jay White, and then a possible match with Cody with the dissension of the Bullet Club. Mm-hmm. The next day, let's say yesterday, it was either Friday or yesterday, Okada had a press conference and introduced Jay White as a member of Chaos. Mm-hmm. So Jay White, after turning down Omega, joins Okada. And in that press conference, Jay White basically said, I'm going after Omega, but I can't do it alone. So I'm joining Chaos to have the people, kind of have my back in my pursuit of Omega. And it was in a funny moment, because I watched the press conference, in a funny moment towards the end of it, Jay White went to give Okada a hug, and Okada was kind of hesitant, didn't trust him because of what Jay White did to Omega at New Year's Dash. Omega gave him the hug, and White hit the Blade Runner on him. So that was a kind of funny moment.
Yeah, that was really cool when he did he was like, and he did the slash into the throat. Yeah. Then he hit it. That was so cool. Now we were talking a little bit on Facebook about possibility of Jericho starting in an alpha faction. What wrestlers in New Japan would work well with Jericho in an alpha faction?
I'd have to look over it and see, because a lot of the wrestlers are in New Japan already in factions. So
you'd have to bring some outsiders, maybe?
That would be amazing, because that's originally what Bullet Club was a bunch of gaijin, foreigners. And they got a couple of Japanese guys now. They got Takahashi and then the Tongans and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's originally what Bullet Club was. I think Jay White would have been a great fit for Jericho if he would start an alpha faction or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm actually surprised a little bit that White went with Chaos. I figured with his gimmick and the way that he wrestles, he'd have been a better fit for Suzuki-gun or LIJ or something like that.
Yep.
So him joining Chaos, that's a little shocking but understandable as well.
Now let me ask you guys this. So when I saw Jericho attack Naito, it got me thinking, okay, when does Jericho go on tour with Fozzy? Because we knew that's coming up, right?
February? I think it's his first. I was actually looking at this last night. His first date, I think, is February 11th. I want to say, which is a Saturday. No, it's a Sunday because that's 2 days before Mardi Gras.
See, I got it pulled up on the website. Mm-hmm. Their website says their first date is January 28th in Paris, France, with Steel Panther.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because unless I don't know what's going to happen unless we get Jericho and Naito on January 27th, and then he gets on a plane and he heads to start his tour.
Do you know offhand? Because I'm looking, I can't find it. The date that they're running the show in Los Angeles
for the G1?
No, that Strong Style Evolve show.
I want to say
it's in March, but I don't remember
the last
exact
weekend
date.
of March. I want to say it might be March 25th, maybe. March 25th is a Friday.
So why not have that show being headlined by Naito versus Jericho?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but that's in the middle of his tour, though. That's the thing, because his tour is going to. I know the last day of Jericho's tour is the same day as WrestleMania, which is April the 8th. So I do know that much. So I think his. Ooh, my leg fell asleep. Good Lord. I know that was random, but my goodness, I'm feeling it right now.
March 25th.
Yeah, March 25th. So
does he have a date, a concert date, March 25th?
Yeah, he's in a festival in Hungary. Oh, no, that's July. No. Last day is April 8th, and he has April 20th, April 21st, April 22nd, and then July.
So nothing in March?
Nah.
No.
So no tour in March?
I think.
Yeah.
There's something
I'm sorry.
in
March 16th, and then
that's my birthday.
And then back March 27th.
That's possible.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, with Jericho, anything's possible, obviously. The dude just fought in New Japan Wrestle Kingdom against Omega. I mean, obviously, nobody saw that coming 4 months ago, I don't think. So, but yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out what happens at New Beginning. So I'd like to keep talking about this, but we went way over the time we wanted to talk about New Japan, I think. So what we're going to do now, and we can always talk more about New Japan because that's still coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Mixed Tag Challenge, which is actually coming up in 9 days from now on Facebook. Some of the teams have already been announced. And let me tell you some of these teams that have actually already been announced. Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. Charlotte Flair and Bobby Roode. It's the Road team there.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks and Finn Balor. You know, they've been running some videos, and I thought these were really funny. There was one video of Finn Balor sitting, I guess, in the backstage area, and he's like, I wonder who should be my partner. And you see Bayley kind of way in the background, and Bayley's like dying to be Finn Balor's partner. So, and, you know, Finn Balor's like, okay, maybe Alicia Fox, maybe Asuka, maybe Alexa Bliss, and Bayley looked like no, and I even forgot what happened, but basically, she kind of sneaks up like, hey, Finn, and you know, Finn scares easily. I think honestly, for a demon, he scares very easily, but. And that was the end of the thing, but it was very funny because you see Bayley the whole time back there, like, every time he says somebody else's name other than Bayley, Bayley's like, no. And then finally, after he says the last girl's name, he's like, hey, Finn. And then he freaks out, and that was the end of the video. But unfortunately, Bayley, you're going to have to wait because the only other people you could possibly get lined up with, Goldust, The Miz, Jason Jordan, Elias, or Samoa Joe, which will be the fan vote. Jason Jordan, Elias, or Samoa Joe. I have a feeling it's going to be Samoa Joe as far as the fan vote goes. Nobody's going to vote for Jason Jordan, that's for sure. Maybe Elias. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Elias got more votes than Jason Jordan.
Elias is getting over.
He kind of is, and I think Cena kind of helped with that a couple of weeks ago. The other, the couple teams here, Rusev and Lana, Naomi and Jimmy Uso, and then also Nia Jax and Apollo Crews. The people that have not been chosen yet for teams, these are the women for Raw, Alicia Fox, Asuka, and Bayley. The men, Goldust and The Miz, and then the fan vote between Jason Jordan, Elias, or Samoa Joe. On the SmackDown side, the women, Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Natalya, and then Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and a fan will vote for the one member of the New Day to be selected on the SmackDown side. So looking at these teams that have already been established, Alexa Bliss, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Bobby Roode, Sasha Banks, Finn Balor, Lana Rusev, Naomi, Jimmy Uso, and Nia Jax and Apollo Crews. I mean, which one of those teams do y'all just kind of stand out as maybe it could be unique, somebody that could win? I mean, what's
right now
thoughts?
I think there's two front runners, one from Raw, one from SmackDown. The SmackDown one being Roode and Charlotte, Raw being Strowman and Alexa.
Yeah. Now, I do like this Roode and Charlotte team.
I do as well.
Honestly, that is a team that should probably win this
I'm with
mixed tag match because you got Charlotte, who right now is, she's the queen of the divas, or the women. I'm not going to say divas because they're not.
What's a diva?
I don't know. But I'm not going to call them divas because obviously I don't think they like.
Ask Siri and see what she says.
What is a diva? What is a diva? That it would be me. Yeah, that would be you, Siri. But yeah, Charlotte and Bobby Roode, like I said, the Robe team. I mean, can you imagine?
I like that team.
I would love to see if they came out as a tag team, what their entrance would look like. That would be awesome. If they could like mix their themes and oh my good lord, I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then obviously you see Lana and Rusev, and as over as Rusev is right now, and everyone knows that they're married in real life, that's going to be interesting. And then, of course, you have the other married couple with Jimmy and Naomi, and then on the other side, Sasha and Finn that could be a really cool team to watch. Nia Jax and Apollo Crews, I'm not sold on that team. Now, granted, Nia Jax has been getting better. Apollo Crews isn't probably getting the push that he should be getting, but I mean,
and you think, okay, Nia Jax, you can see her beating any of the girls.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Apollo Crews, who are they going to put him over? Nobody.
They're not going to. Yeah, they won't put him. They could put honestly. Apollo Crews could be put over Goldust. He could be put over. He could probably be put over on the Miz. I think.
No, I don't know about
don't
that.
put him over on the Miz. I think he could be put over on the Miz.
Miz is the best heel in WWE.
Yeah, but but you could still put Miz can still put people over. Strowman cannot. The only person Strowman ever put over was Roman. But and then Jason Jordan, Elias, or Samoa Joe. I can see Apollo Crews maybe putting over. I don't know, Samoa Joe. They're trying to build Samoa Joe as a bad dude.
Yeah,
I think because he took Lesnar to the limit.
That's because he is.
Well, yeah, he is. But but as far now, I would love to see a Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman. That would be something to see. I think that could be fun too. But so that's the teams we got so far. I still don't know what the other teams are going to look like. I mean, a Becky Lynch and a Sami Zayn, Becky Lynch and a Shinsuke, maybe a Natalya and Sami, and then on the other side you have a Asuka and the Miz. I don't know what the Goldust. That seems random as hell to me. Just to put Goldust.
And what else is he doing?
No, you got a point.
What else is he doing?
He ain't doing much.
He's
so.
got the time.
That one time he came out as Dustin Rhodes to face was it the Miz or he faced somebody? He's like, I'm facing.
That was at the Starrcade event.
Yeah.
No, he came out as an old gimmick for that.
Natural. I think it was the natural.
But there was
Dustin
one night
Rhodes.
on Raw he came out as Dustin Rhodes.
Huh.
He was wearing the gold suit. He had no paint on his face, 0 paint, and it might have been the Miz. And he said, I will fight you man to man. And he came out and fought one night as just Dustin Rhodes in the Goldust jumpsuit. So that was
That's
cool.
gotta look weird, man. If you're gonna go all out in the costume and then not do the face, like that's not a costume you just wear.
Also, a keynote for this mixed tag challenge: the broadcast team, Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix will be.
Okay, cool.
Would be the third.
I thought you were about to say Booker T, and I was like, no, not at all.
Beth Phoenix will be the third commentator.
I'm cool with that.
So, and then now a lot of people.
That'll be cool. Build her up for the. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit. But so we talked about mixed tag. That's going to happen January 16th. I guess it's all going to happen in one day. I don't know. Or at least
I don't know.
I don't think it will, but I think it will start.
No,
that day.
it won't. The whole thing won't be on that day. Because when I looked it up earlier, it showed that they were doing like 20-minute episodes.
Okay, so it could be. It could start. It's going to start January 16th. I don't know how long it's going to last or what the case may be. So
20 minutes. That's one match. So it'll
Basically.
probably be a match every Tuesday.
Oh, they might do one with 2 matches and have Cruz.
Or they could do one round one day, do the next
Apollo
round next
Crews,
week.
not our Discord Cruz.
So we'll see what happens there. So that's going down in about 9 days. Now let's jump into Monday Night Raw. Let me go over the results here real quick for Monday Night Raw. This past Monday, the first one of the year from Miami, the American Airlines Arena, Jason Jordan defeated Cesaro in what was a really good match. A really good match, you said. That was a really good match. Good. Bray Wyatt defeated Apollo Crews. Asuka defeated Alexa Bliss by submission.
Also a really good match.
Braun Strowman defeated Rhino in 2.5 minutes. Roman Reigns defeated Samoa Joe, which I think you said was another good match too. So there's some really good matches.
That's pay-per-view quality right there.
Oh yeah, Cedric Alexander and Goldust defeated Arya Daivari and Drew Gulak, and Finn Balor, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows, the Bullet Club of WWE, if you will, defeated Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and Elias. So. Not much really to talk about here. I mean, obviously, Reigns defended the Intercontinental title against Samoa Joe. The Miz will be back this week. Also, Enzo Amore will be defending his Cruiserweight Championship tomorrow night as well against Cedric Alexander.
Speaking of the Rhino match, there's a really funny video out there of Heath Slater getting locked in an airplane bathroom.
Yes.
Who was it? Kurt Hawkins that...
I think so.
Who
or
videotaped
Axel.
it? Yeah, Curtis Axel.
Axel.
Yeah, videotaped it. It was hilarious.
So as far as, and then let's go to SmackDown real quick, talk about the SmackDown results. Jimmy and Jay Uso, they defended their titles this week against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. They defeated them. Jimmy and Jay Uso did. Xavier Woods defeated Aiden English. Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan defeated Carmella and Natalya and Tamina. And Sami Zayn pinned AJ Styles. So that's good. That's kind of interesting there because, of course, now we have the AJ versus Kevin and Sammy handicap match, which I'm still trying to figure out. You know, I guess if Sammy pins AJ in that match, does Sammy become the champion, or does Sammy and Kevin become co-WWE champions?
I do not know. I haven't watched SmackDown yet because of everything else going on. But
Well, PW Insider is saying this is where they're going to start another Sammy-Kevin feud off of this match.
That's possible. I can see that. That would be a good WrestleMania match, I think.
I was about to say I wouldn't be against them at Mania. Possibly like Omega Jericho did, a no DQ match or something like that.
And speaking of Jericho and Mania, he tweeted out and he said he's more excited about his New Japan run even for the upcoming WrestleMania. So I'm wondering if he's even going to go back to WWE or if he's going to stay in New Japan. So that's
regardless when he does go back to WWE, because he's going to go back eventually. He's just going to be a bigger star than he already is. So but
it may be
it's
later
good
than
for
sooner.
WWE. Yeah, you're right.
The way he's talking.
All right. Now, since we went over both of those, the big thing to talk about really from both brands right now is the Royal Rumble matches. Yeah, you heard me right. Royal Rumble matches. If you've been under a rock for the past, since the new year, or since Christmas, really, for that matter, there are 2 Royal Rumble matches, a men's and a women's. So far for the men, these are the people who have declared: Elias, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, John Cena, Finn Balor, and Baron Corbin. Only people that have declared for the Royal Rumble match thus far on the men's side. The women's side, much more. Naomi, Asuka, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Paige, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. So that's 14. That's already half the field, almost half the field right there for the women. Yeah. And I don't know. Is there any other women on the rosters? Nia Jax. I didn't say Nia Jax's name. She's good. I would think she's not going to be in the Rumble.
No, I was saying you didn't say her name.
Oh, so I would think she's going to be in the Rumble unless she's going to be fighting Alexa Bliss for the title. I don't know. Also, another name I don't see on there is Mickie James.
God bless her.
Yeah, God bless Mickie James. She ages like fine wine. But and then also at the Royal Rumble, you have the U.S. title tournament, which right now, they never had the Zack Ryder Mojo Rawley match in the first round. Well, yeah, you just said you ain't been watching SmackDown, so I don't know. They don't have it on this bracket I'm looking at here, but Jinder Mahal and Xavier Woods are in one semifinal. Bobby Roode, I think, still awaiting the winner of Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley for another semifinal match there. So we will have the United States Championship final that will also take place at the Royal Rumble.
That
and then
should be Roode and Mahal.
It should be Roode and Mahal, and it should be Roode going over Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see, because Jinder Mahal, let's face it, he should have never had the WWE strap, but his gimmick is perfect as a heel for the United States champion, to win the United States Championship. So that will be interesting to see which way they go with that.
I don't want to see him with another title.
Well, that's exactly why I think if Mahal never held the WWE title, I'd be even more okay with Mahal winning this tournament. But the fact that they held the title hostage, in my opinion, for 170 days while Mahal was putting on terrible matches, with exception the one he had against AJ Styles, or the couple he had against AJ Styles. Dude, that was one of the worst title runs, oh man, I think I've ever seen. Like, good Lord.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Mahal's young. He's got time. Rude's only got a few more years left in him, most likely. I mean, and with the grueling schedule of WWE, he's going to get beat down in his old body. Give it to him now.
Yep.
Jeez.
Unless he does DDP yoga.
Stop procrastinating.
Make the U.S. title glorious again.
Yes, make it glorious again.
Yes.
So hopefully Bobby Roode, because I would love to see Bobby Roode win this title and have a good title feud for the U.S. title going into WrestleMania. That would really be awesome, especially the way they did him at Survivor Series. Like I know you are salty about that. I'm still salty about the fact that they should have made Roode and Nakamura look like the two strongest guys on that SmackDown team, because you don't need to make Cena look strong. You don't need to make Orton look strong. You don't need to make Shane look strong. He wrestles twice a year. You need to make Nakamura and Bobby Roode the strongest guys on SmackDown because, well, other than AJ Styles, of course, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but because Triple H went all the way to Japan and got Shinsuke, then where did he get Bobby Roode from? He got him from TNA, I think. Straight from TNA.
Bobby left TNA.
So Triple H, you go and get these two wonderful wrestlers. Hell, I'd love to see Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura wrestle again. Those two wrestled in NXT and put on some great matches as well.
And great in NXT.
Oh, absolutely. So at least we know what they're doing. We know that they know what they're doing in NXT as far as when they get to the main roster. And I don't mind Triple H coming back every now and again to put people over. But he didn't put nobody over.
Yeah, he doesn't put anybody over anymore. It's all about him now.
Well, he put Rollins over at Mania, which Rollins is like his prodigy, I guess. But he didn't put over Sting, which I could see. Okay, you don't have to put over Sting because Sting's already Sting. And who else has he faced? And then he didn't put over none of the guys at Survivor Series when he could have. But I guess and I thought this was going to lead to a Kurt Angle Triple H thing, which right now I don't know what it's going to lead to. So. Because somebody was saying this, like, after Triple H, the Monday night after Survivor Series, we haven't seen him since then. Like, when Strowman choked him out and punked him out the next night, we have not seen Triple H since. So, like, what's going to happen with that?
Just it's all about timing. Whenever he needs his ego stroked, he'll be back.
So a lot of people
he'll be back for Mania.
Yeah, a lot of people think, I know he's going to make a Mania run, but the question is he going to do it against Kurt Angle or is he going to do it against Braun Strowman? Because right now they're thinking Triple H versus Braun Strowman in a case where you have no choice but to put Braun Strowman over. I don't care. Look, Braun Strowman, and you said this a while back, the only reason Kane is in this triple threat match is so that Kane can take the pin probably from Lesnar, because Lesnar and Reigns are going to fight for that Universal title after Reigns drops that.
Hey.
after Reigns.
I'm so excited for Lesnar Reigns again.
This one I think is going to be so much better. First of all, the build-up has to be so much better because the build-up for that first match they had was absolute trash.
As long as the build-up doesn't include Reigns winning the Rumble.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to include that.
It's in Philly.
They don't. Yeah,
he's won it in Philly before.
Well, I don't.
Got him and The Rock booed out of Philly.
Yeah, only Roman Reigns can get The Rock booed. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. It's my favorite match of the year. Right now, I'm still sticking with Shinsuke Nakamura winning.
As am I.
But I don't know. I saw a tweet the other day. Somebody posted, they believe we're going to have Nakamura versus Styles at WrestleMania, but they don't believe it's going to be for a title. So. That is,
if they build up Nakamura the right way, they won't need the title.
Yeah, exactly.
And they need to make him look a lot stronger than he has been, though.
But if Nakamura does not win, I don't know. Other people point to John Cena winning it, and John Cena. Somebody said something. John Cena going on to face Sami Zayn for the WWE title at WrestleMania. Somebody's throwing that out there. But I could also see Sami versus Kevin for the WWE title.
I'd rather see Sami versus Kevin.
Yeah. I don't know, and then some people, that custom-made WrestleMania poster somebody made a couple of weeks ago that was badass.
Yeah.
With The Undertaker and John Cena. I wouldn't mind seeing The Undertaker and John Cena. I think that potentially could be a good match, even as bad as the Reigns-Undertaker match was last year.
I think that Cena-Undertaker match is about 2 or 3 years too late, though.
Yeah.
That should have happened.
No, that's about 5 years too late. That should have happened. That should have happened probably right after Taker and Triple H were feuding those 2 years at Mania. It should happen right after that. Hell, it could have happened before that, but it's better late than never, I guess, I suppose. But anyway, so as we were talking about the Royal Rumble matches, the women we talked about. Who you right now, Ryan? Who you think? Me and Brink both kind of leaning towards Nakamura. I mean, who do you think could win this Royal Rumble match?
Oh, man. I'd have to go with Nakamura, too.
Nakamura right now, and that's the thing because we don't know. I mean, obviously, some people may think that Nakamura and AJ are going to fight, maybe not for the title, but I don't know. It just depends because I'm sure the WWE Championship match will happen before the Men's Royal Rumble. So if AJ wins that match, I could see Nakamura winning the Rumble. And right then and there, boom, you have your match. Yeah. And you could set it in stone right there. Don't have AJ defend the title at Fastlane or Roadblock or whatever the hell other pay-per-views you put in there. You could do a solid build-up to that match. And holy smokes, I mean, that right there will bring the Superdome roof just down, I think, that match. So
yeah, the only thing that has me worried is, like, when you said Orton's name, I cringed because, I mean, they push Orton at so many random times.
Yeah, like he's the defending Rumble winner last year.
Yeah.
I don't see an instance where he's going to win it twice. He ain't Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't care.
Well, he's won it twice. Last year was the second time.
Well, two times in a row, though. Yeah, he's won in 2009, and then he won last year. So, but 2 years in a row. I'm sorry, but because that Orton winning that Royal Rumble led to one of the worst WrestleMania feuds and matches.
A decent build-up that actually had people talking and ready for it, and then
the match
the massacre that was at WrestleMania.
And then they had a worse match at Extreme Rules, the House of Horrors match. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
That was Vince McMahon trying to do broken stuff.
That was
that did not work out.
Yeah, that did not work out whatsoever. So, with that being said, let's see here what our
just to throw this out. Now that Matt's getting woken, you think there's any chance woken Matt might make a run towards winning the Rumble?
I could see
with
him,
his new gimmick that is completely over.
I could see that, but right now I don't know what the timetable for Jeff Hardy is. That's the thing.
I think it's going to be a while.
Because some people were saying maybe Hardy comes back for WrestleMania. Comes back for WrestleMania, and as Brother Nero. Some people were even speculating, hell, they wouldn't be surprised to see Jeff Hardy enter the Rumble as Brother Nero, maybe. But
that's what I was fixing to say. Vince McMahon has a love affair with Jeff Hardy. He's always pushed Jeff Hardy. So when he comes back, he's not going to play second fiddle to Woken Matt. They're probably going to go off and do their own singles thing. Wouldn't you think?
No, because when the Hardy Boys came back to me, they were so over with the WWE crowd. They're still over. And I think having them together with the broken gimmick, because now you have Matt doing his singles thing right now until Jeff Hardy comes back. But when Jeff Hardy comes back, have them as a tag team. Don't split them up. You split them up once already. In my opinion, didn't work out. They're better together, especially if they're broken. And because these two guys still have it. These two guys can still wrestle. They've been around for a long time. And these two guys can still go, and they can still, make this Raw tag division a little better. Because right now, let's face it, the Raw tag division it's chaos
and
right now.
I think WWE has handled the broken or woken thing perfectly. Like, have the Hardys come back when they did, have the nostalgia run. Once that starts to fade and the legal situation with Matt and TNA got mostly resolved, have him be his woken character and let's breathe a new life into Hardy. Mm-hmm. And when Jeff comes back, if he comes back as Brother Nero, that's new life into their tag teams. That's another, at least one more tag title reign for them. So
yeah, because I believe they're giving Matt full creative control over his,
which would be
the
wise thing to do.
So I think I'm assuming Matt will be entered into the Royal Rumble. At least I hope he will, because so. The only other thing they could do right now is have a match with Bray Wyatt. But Matt Hardy, Woken Matt versus Bray Wyatt, singles match. And Bray Wyatt's been known to put on some great matches at the Royal Rumble against Daniel Bryan years back. But I don't know. That match to me, it doesn't scream Royal Rumble to me. It's a good.
Does it scream Mania?
No, absolutely not.
No?
To me, that match.
If billed right with Wyatt's character and Broken Matt's character, if they do it right, can be amazing.
It could be, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the bad taste in my mouth after what Bray Wyatt, the match Bray Wyatt had with Orton last year at WrestleMania. I think Broken Matt could have a better feud, at least a better Mania feud. For now, his first feud back, Bray Wyatt, is perfect. Yeah. Does a match like that need to be at the Royal Rumble? I mean, it could be, but like I said, to me, Bray Wyatt I don't know. There's something about Bray Wyatt that I like him. You got a great gimmick, but I don't know. It's kind of, to me, it's slowly fading away. Yeah. But you know what I think it is? You know what I think it is? He needs the Bludgeon Brothers with him.
Exactly.
He needs the Bludgeon Brothers with him. I think without him by himself, I don't know. It's like something's missing, and I think he needs two followers that are going to do everything he says and praise him to be this almighty Bray Wyatt. That when they first introduced the Wyatt family, it's like Bray Wyatt was like this mythical creature that everybody was just in the palm of his hand. Now it's like he ain't got nobody around. So I don't know. Just the I guess the pizzazz of that part of his gimmick is just not there right now.
I think Bray's character is also better suited for SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
The mainstream Raw fans are your casual fans.
Oh, yeah.
The Wyatt, the gimmicks like Wyatt need to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Where it's more geared towards the hardcore wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm. What if he gets 2 new minions in a few months? War Machine.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
That
would be really cool.
I like that.
We'll see, but because like right now, because as far as I'm concerned, the Bludgeon Brothers are.
Yeah, you've already repackaged them. You've changed their names.
And first of all, Eric Rowan's one of those guys. When his music hits, it's dead silent.
Yeah.
You got to put a guy with Eric. You got to put a guy like Eric Rowan, with a guy like Harper at least, because Harper at least gets some reaction. Not a lot, but he gets more reaction than Rowan does. That's for sure. Hell, I'd go out there and probably get more reaction than Rowan would, but but. Put these guys together, man. And then when Strowman was with him, like, dude, they were just
unstoppable.
And Harper is grossly underutilized.
Oh, yeah.
Harper's amazing.
Harper is really good. So,
yeah.
All right. So, with that being said, the Royal Rumble coming up in a few weeks because we're about at an hour and we still haven't gotten to Cheap Heat and Rumor Mill yet. So, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead now. You got Cheap Heat. You got something on Cheap Heat. So, go ahead, Ryan, take it away with Cheap Heat.
I'll go over this quickly. So, if you haven't heard of the Logan Paul debacle, he is the less famous older brother of Jake Paul, who is also a YouTuber, but he's done some stuff on Disney Channel and whatnot. Well, Logan Paul did a vlog in Japan, in the suicide forest, where it's this forest where a lot of people go to commit suicide in Japan. And he did a vlog by a guy that was clearly dead, hanging in the forest. And he got a whole bunch of flack over it. So Kenny Omega got into it. So Kenny tweeted him, anything you say, because he put an apology on Twitter. He says, anything you say or do comes off as completely disingenuous. You abuse your internet celebrity and inspire people to be as rotten as you. But hey, if you make a buck, who cares, right? Please remember you're not even close to untouchable, and karma is a B.
There you go.
Nice.
Jeez. So that's what you got for Cheap Heat?
No, there's more.
Oh, go ahead. Keep it rolling, man.
And then the Iron Sheik got into it.
Oh, I love when the Iron Sheik gets into things.
The Iron Sheik said, at Logan Paul, we gonna beat the F out of you.
The Iron Sheik cursing? No, I don't believe that.
And then Woken Matt Hardy put a response to the Iron Sheiks, and he said, I'm perpetually ready to stand and fight beside the legend.
Yeah. Broken Matt and the Iron Sheik mixed tag. Oh, no, it's not a mixed tag, but if you had, a tag team tournament, hey, put them two in, that'd be cool.
Iron Sheik on Twitter is great.
Yeah.
The Iron Sheik just in general is great. Like, even back in the day when he was on Howard Stern, like that just him talking is, you just want to listen to what the Iron Sheik has to say. So,
yeah.
Any more to add to that?
Yes, and I'll go through these very quickly because Twitter was very active this week on Heat. All right, so a lady called Facts and Cats, she put at AJ Styles org. Michelle McCool called. She wants her finisher back.
Wait, you told that to AJ?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Come on. Right. How dare you disrespect AJ? Compare him to Michelle McCool.
I'm pretty sure he was using that before in TNA before she was using it.
Oh, yeah. Pretty sure.
That's a good tweet. That's
all right, so Baron Corbin tweeted, at my Chiefs, you're killing it right now. Let's keep it rolling, boys. Hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. So then another dude responded, damn you, Corbin, you jinxed us. So if you're
Mariota passed himself, boy, how about
fantastic.
that, man?
If you're a Chiefs fan, blame Corbin. All right, and this one's hilarious. Johnny Manziel, and I know this isn't about wrestling, but Johnny Manziel's life is like a storyline that Vince Russo wrote, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. So he puts 0-16 season.
I think that might have been, well, I don't know, because I saw that post on Instagram this morning. It's the picture of him doing the money sign, wearing the Cleveland Browns helmet, all that stuff, uniform. And there was no caption, but there was no comment. So I don't know, maybe if he deleted and disabled comments for that post. I don't know, because I saw it this morning, because I saw that picture last night where he put 0-16 season, and then he put another picture of him, like, I guess, throwing, and put hashtag comeback season. So maybe he deleted, but then all the other posts had comments and captions on it, whereas that one had no caption, and this comments were disabled, so maybe he took it off. I don't know.
He may have, but I think somebody got the screen cap because NFL Memes posted it. Mm-hmm. And Smiley Nate 66 said, at Johnny Manziel 2, 0-16 on drug test. All right. And to end it, the mother of all. So Kenny King from ROH tweeted, at Wendy's, I was late. Can I get a late roast? And then Wendy's hit him back and said, you forgot about hashtag National Roast Day? Guess it was about as memorable as your X Division Championship reign. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's accurate, too, because I didn't know he was X Division champ.
So that concludes Sheepy.
All right, cool. Well, now that – all right, so that was your GP. We're going to jump right into the rumor mill now before we get ready to wrap it up. The rumor mill, a Sports Illustrated article about Daniel Bryan pretty much says, mark your calendars, Daniel Bryan will know his WWE future by WrestleMania. So if Daniel Bryan does not wrestle by WrestleMania, sayonara, because I'm not saying sayonara, I hope he stays, but he's going to tell WWE, sayonara, I'm out of here. This is what he was quoted as saying. I assume that if I don't wrestle by WrestleMania, I probably won't be wrestling with WWE at all. That's my assumption. It's not a black and white answer. There are a lot of issues with me getting cleared by WWE. They have a very strict protocol, which is a good thing, but the timeline of all of that happening was not the best for me. It's an interesting situation that will develop. Let's see if he has any other. Let's see. I think that probably pretty much was it there, really. So if anybody gets a chance, go look up Daniel Bryan's article on Sports Illustrated, pretty much saying, hey, if I'm not wrestling by WrestleMania, because I don't know when his contract is up, but I have a feeling it's not going to be long after WrestleMania, or at least if I'm Daniel Bryan, by WrestleMania, if they didn't put me in a match, I don't care how much time's on my contract left, like, I'm out of here. Like, come on now. Like, at least put me in at WrestleMania, and maybe I would think about staying. But if you can't put Daniel Bryan in a WrestleMania match, despite the fact that he can wrestle, because every other doctor in America has probably told him that he is able to wrestle again, except the ones that work for WWE and the ones that matter the most. So we'll know by WrestleMania. If Daniel Bryan is not in a match by WrestleMania, I don't think we're going to see Daniel Bryan on WWE television after April the 8th. So that's what I have in my rumor mill.
Yeah, the scary thing about the Daniel Bryan situation is, I heard a doctor discussing concussions one time, and he said once you've been concussed, like, it's pretty hard to get concussed. Mm-hmm. But obviously when you're in a contact sport like that and you're slamming your head hard on things or whatnot, but once you've been concussed, it is like so much easier to get concussed a second time. And then it's easier to get done the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, then the sixth. So this guy can take a regular bump that a normal person could withstand, and he's concussed. That's the only thing that worries me about him. And then he was saying that, he was having which one of the Bellas is he with?
Bree.
The first date that they went on was after a match, and they were like just resting in the bed before they went out, and he had one of his concussion seizures. And he told her, you can't tell anybody, right?
Oh, wow. So
she was having to hide that from management until he told him later on. And, man, I don't know. I think I side on WWE. Go die somewhere else, dude.
Well, and that being said, I don't think we have anything else to talk about here. So, anybody else want to add anything? This is your time to do it.
According to the CEO of Ring of Honor, Joe Koff, he believes that Bryan's contract ends in September
of this year.
Yeah.
What if his first name was Jerk?
Oh my god!
Do the math, people. Do the math. That's all I got to say.
Living the gimmick.
Yes, sir. I love living the gimmick.
Oh my god!
So with that being said, Ryan, I don't have anything else. That's all you have left?
Nope.
Ryan, go ahead and do the honors, man. Send us out.
Brink, thank you so much for coming, brother. We appreciate you. Another great show in the books. Remember, Mark Out Nation t-shirts are available right now on a limited run. You can check out that link at MarkOutMania.com, or it's right at the top of our Facebook. It's the pinned Facebook post. So you can go check them out. Hoodies, shirts, long sleeve shirts, stickers. And then later on, we got some really cool like LSU themed and Saint themed Mark Out Nation stuff we're going to do. So check that out, MarkOutMania.com. Once again, big shout out to our Patreon supporters, Cruz Smith and Zach Miller. And if you're looking to be a Patreon supporter, $1 a month can get you listening live like Cruz is right now. It's at MarkOutMania.com. And with that said, guys, we appreciate you, and we're out.
Hit that outro.
You've been listening to the Mark Out Mania podcast, a Lake Area Media, LLC production. The views and opinions expressed in this show are those of Ryan Keith and Patrick Fry and are not affiliated with any wrestling promotion or company. Follow Mark Out Mania on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. For all Mark Out Mania links, news, and free podcasts, visit MarkOutMania.com. You've been marked.